Hold on. You can hear me though, right?
I can hear you, yes.
Da-da-da-da-da. Mute, unmute. Let's maybe switch speakers. Okay, well, we're testing a new thing. Test speaker. Yeah. Huh. Test speaker. Okay, maybe this did it. Maybe I fixed it. Well,
we're probably not helping.
I am doing so fucking
we're just
good.
being silent.
Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Let's see. Hi from Cleveland. Now I can hear. Yeah, I fixed it. Thanks, Michelle.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so to catch you up, let's see. I need a drink. Hold on. I was getting really dry mouth nervous. I'm like, oh man, I screwed it all up. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. We're gonna start over. Welcome to the Witch Lab Wednesday Live Christmas special, holiday special, whatever you want special. It's a December wonderful Yule type of year, type of time of the year, and we are featuring Mortellus, our necromantic elf.
Here. I brought my favorite holiday mug. I love this one because it looks like Santa just shit in your stocking, and he's.
Wait! I need to put my glasses on. This little screen is so small now because we're using this new Zoom thing.
See?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's what he did.
That's lovely.
I need syrup though.
Oh wait, you have a special syrup, yes?
I do. It's rum.
Can you show us the special syrup?
Yes, I made this, and I thought at the end of the night that I would give one away to someone listening.
There's a Buddy the Elf maple syrup flask. Does it say rum on, or does it say syrup?
It says syrup because it's syrup.
See, I can't see anything on this screen, which is really bugging me. I really like that we're doing something new, which is why we had the audio fuck ups. And I don't know why this thing is over here. I'm gonna come on as me. Connect my things. There we go. Once again, figuring it out. I'm getting there. Follow me for more tips on how to use StreamYard and Voice Meter and Zoom, because I'm learning. Okay, so hopefully this is good. I am going to send an invite to lovely Mortellus right now. I need Facebook. All right, so I have sent her the invite. All right, hopefully this is it okay now? Like, is it back to normal? Most of it is. Okay, so welcome to the Christmas special. It's full of chaos, which is, you know what? That's what Christmas is. You've been to your family's house. It's fucking chaos. Amy Blackman says we are all learning. What? Why? It's not letting me share comments now. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. All right. It's all good. We're learning together, says Amy. And here is Mortellus. Yes. All right.
Hi.
Okay. All right. Hi. All right. We're not starting over. I'm pretty sure we got it somewhere in there. Christmas. Mortellus. Yay. I'm your host, Tiffany Boggins.
Hi.
And on the show. Okay. All right. So yeah, so with the living room flipped around, so it was showing me mirror, so it also broadcasts mirror too. Oh, that's weird.
Weird. That's weird. We'll
Yeah,
figure
because
it
it
out.
shows you what's actually. What did you say?
I said we'll figure it out one of these days. I think.
Oh yeah.
Technical
Yes.
problem.
Yes. Okay. All right. So on with the show. Hey, do you have eggnog?
I do. I have eggnog loaded with syrup. I have my non-binary ginger people here to.
Okay. So the stupid thing cut out when we were talking about you. Your pronouns are now they them.
Yes. I learned in the last year that I'm a chimera. That's a weird new thing to deal with. I was already non-binary. I was going by she, they, but I figured I would just really lean in honor of my deceased twin that just like lives in my meat suit. So cheers.
Cheers. 100% cheers. Okay, I have a question. So this is not saying anything about anybody's decisions or whatever. I'm just curious. Was your twin like cis male?
They would have been assigned male at birth.
They would have. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, so yeah, so you're just holding both, right?
I learned that I have 2 sets of DNA, which is super weird to live with.
So you are an actual chimera.
Yes.
Like wow.
Yep.
I'm sorry it took me so long to get there. I'm still reeling from stupid things, but I'm sorry it took me so long to get there. But you are an actual chimera.
Yeah, that's pretty new for me. So I'm getting adjusted. Found out a few months ago, close to a year ago. I've been a part of the COVID-19 vaccine trials since the beginning.
That's right.
It's something that I learned through all the tests that they do. They were like, fun surprise for you.
By the way,
they told me I should have my children tested because I could be some combination of their mother, father, aunt, uncle. They could be not brothers and sisters, but cousins. Like it could be any weird combination of things.
This is like something you hear about on like a CSI thing because the DNA is not quite right. They think his brother did it, but it's actually his. Wow.
But
fascinating.
Speaking of my children, we're talking about Santa tonight, Christmas, and Santa Claus is or St. Nicholas is the patron saint of children. My twins are watching right now before they go to bed. So I wanted to say hello and good night to Soren and Luna. And I wanted to read them a bedtime story, and all of you tolerate that.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite holiday stories for this time of year. Let's see if I can line it up. There we go.
Shortest nap. Oh, shortest day. I'm sorry. The shortest day.
The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper, illustrated by Carson Ellis.
Wait, I'm going to make you the star of the show. Hold on one sec. No, that's the wrong one. I'm really good at this stuff, I promise. There you go.
This day, I love these illustrations. Beautiful.
That is beautiful. I love those colors. Oh.
I have to stand up to show you better. There we go. So the shortest day came, and the year died. And everybody down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing and dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight this shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Welcome Yule.
That was lovely. So the shortest day, who's the author again?
Susan Cooper.
Susan Cooper.
I have many of these illustrations photocopied on my altar. They're really beautiful.
That's beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
So how late are the kids staying up?
Probably too late. Probably. But they're watching with us for a while.
That's cool. We've got lots of people saying hello. Jean says hi. Amy applauded your book reading. Euphus, Christy, Donna, hey, Jason, Sheila, Joe, Christy, a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, hi for joining us.
Yeah, it's so good to see all of you. You can all thank Mortellus for this happening. They asked me the other day if I had any open spots in my December. Turns out they were all open, but because I was taking the month off. But she said she wanted to have Christmas sweaters and eggnog, and sorry. I'm trying so hard. I'm actually much better when I'm not in front of the person. Strangely enough, it's weird.
It takes used to, I know.
I'm more nervous, I think.
It's totally fine.
But anyway, because you have some interesting things to talk about with the Santa Claus, yeah?
I do. I thought I would show everyone a few things as well, though. Some things about my life they may not know, like some behind the scenes stuff. Since we lost our Zoom, I have to Facebook you some things.
I'm wondering if there's any way that I can like give you sharing privileges. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I can. But anyway.
Oh, I think
okay,
I think I can do that. Oh wait, I just figured out how to do. We're learning stuff, everybody. We're learning. I think I figured out how to do that.
Stephen Intramull, if you're watching, do guests get a share option?
I see. I found it.
Yes. All right.
Well, I thought first of all, like maybe they'll allow me. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm gonna figure this out.
It's just funny. This is the show of technical difficulties. You see, the staff that's normally here is all on break for the holidays, so I don't have all of my people to run things like usual. Just kidding. I don't have anybody to run a number.
What the hell we're doing.
This is what happens when I work when I'm on vacation. I'm just a mess. I'm just gonna start drinking whiskey out of the bottle at this point.
I think I'm gonna have to just like send things to you.
Okay.
Because I'm not.
And I can upload them to here.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Well, I sent you one already of my cute dog. I don't think everyone has met being a jackass.
Let's see what we got. How did you send it? Email or Facebook or
Facebook? Yeah. This is not a professional feed, everyone. Just like strap in. It's the holidays. We're playing.
Oh yeah. You're here for a hangout. Nothing is planned. I'm not even talking about events coming up or anything. This is us literally just watching us hang out at a computer in Christmas sweaters.
Drinking syrup.
What'd you say?
Drinking our syrup.
Drink our syrup. Okay. I go here. Go here. So what these are, they're an overlay. So it's gonna have like a picture in the middle of the screen. That's how this works. In case anybody was wondering, this is called an overlay. I just have to figure out where I just put that picture. Oh, I really thought I put it in a place where there wouldn't be anything else. I was wrong. Tell him a joke, quick, tell him a joke.
I got nothing. Panic.
Fine. Hey, have you seen the new Ghostbusters movie?
I have not, actually. I want to see that. I want to see the new Matrix movie. So one of the things that I've sent Tiffany is I don't know if anyone listening knows, but when I ran away when I was younger, I joined a carnival. I spent a decade working with a carnival and far more doing face and body painting. I still do a lot of face and body painting and do clowning and things for different charitable events. And one of the things I do a lot of is being an elf at the holidays. I do mall elf, and I have been Christmas tree farm elf, and all kinds of fun stuff. It's a silly part of my life. And while I, unfortunately, I'm not sad about it, don't have a photo to show you of me in that particular costume, I shared Tiffany a few of me over the years in other various similar scenarios.
All right, so I'm saving all of your images so I can find them in Amy Blackthorn's teacher portfolio because I know exactly where it will be. And that's the only pictures other than Amy that are in that folder, so I can find them really fast. I'm just putting them all on there right now.
She wants us to sing seasonal hold music.
Yes, or entertain the troops. Save them themselves. And my puppy's freaking out. You guys are just gonna hang out, listen to me yell at my dogs. This is awesome. You guys are troopers. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do one of these.
One of the
I'm gonna put one up so that you can talk about it while I'm doing this stupid thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here you go. Nope, that's not the right one.
Let's talk about that. So what did we just see?
It's behind me. That's this thing right here.
I love that. It's weird.
It's funny mine made it. It's a piece of art. It's really great. It makes me happy. And I just put a thing that we cut off the bottom of the tree behind it so it looks Christmassy. Decorating it for you. Okay, but this one's yours. Here you go. You talk. I'm gonna download pictures.
This is my dog, Donut. Or or at the holidays, he's Donny Claus. He's such a jerk, though. Huge, huge jerk.
What are we doing? Something.
Pets at the holidays. It's like the best thing about it is cramming Santa hats on them and stuff.
What are you doing here? What's this?
I am face painting at a local children's museum with a glorious amount of tits. That's. I didn't realize how glorious my tits were that day until I saw photos later. It was like, that was a gift to everyone. That's was for the people.
Oh, this is you in costume doing it.
Yeah, that's it's a princess walk around character I used to do. I haven't put that hideous outfit on in a few years, so I don't miss it.
All right, what else we got here? Oh,
Me
that's
body painting go-go dancers at a bike week in Panama City.
that's awesome. And this one, let's see.
That's my character Thistle, the fairy, that I do at Ren fairs sometimes.
Thistle. Did you want me to do these in some kind of order? Because I'm just popping them at you.
I don't give a shit. The other person in the middle with me there, that's my spouse, Joseph, and our good friend John in the chef hat, and our friend Christopher off to the other side. Nothing is quite as much fun as dragging your college friends along for the ride when you're doing this kind of work. I need other people to do things.
What's this? Is this a cake you made?
I made that, yes.
That is incredible. Look at those mushrooms.
I love making bûche de Noël, but I don't always make like meringue mushrooms. These are made of marzipan because I just like marzipan. But
that is really beautiful.
Pro tips for anyone listening: anything looks like a bûche de Noël if you break cookies around it. Do a stump. Don't do the log. The log is hard. It's like a 2-layer cake, and just make it ugly, and it looks like a stump. It's great.
It looks amazing. All right. Very fun. Oh wait, here's another one.
Me elfing it up.
So you dressed as an elf, and where was this? What was this for? Where were you doing that?
That last photo was me being an elf in a Santa's village at a mall. I was there face painting people as they waited in line. Just
that's awesome.
Fun, you know.
That is fun. And so this is why you have so much elf knowledge and culture that you're swimming in right now.
Yes, a lot of culture.
I love it. I love the whole thing. I like that you have a bow. I have my jingle headband.
Got my bells, my ears jingle.
Your little reeds. I know we determined earlier in our test thing, because yes, we actually did test this earlier. We thought we could do it. Anyway, we tried to hear each other's bells. We can't hear each other's bells.
No, it's like that fucking Polar Express movie. We're too old to hear the bells. Oh no.
Yuck. You want to go outside? Do you need to go outside? All right. Let's go outside. Be right back.
Yes. We can all say things about Tiffany now while they're gone. So, don't do that.
Full sweater so you can see the whole thing here.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I love it.
This is Santa on a rocket.
We have sort of a tradition of doing like finding weird blown glass ornaments every year, and one of the ones we got this year was Santa Claus in a rocket.
He's Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Rocket Man.
Absolutely.
Donna Estep, who's a friend of mine, who's somebody I think is still watching anyway. Who knows now? But she actually made a reference to Santa flying in on his cock rocket, and man, I was like, oh, I could make this happen. Like, the little. Oh wait, your kids are still watching, aren't they? Well, I'm gonna maybe not say that.
They've heard worse.
I mean, you know what this show's about. You knew going in. This isn't even your first rodeo.
It isn't. I'm a bad parent, though. I think the twins curse as much as I do.
That's funny. I cursed all the time. Sorry, I had to switch this back. It was making me crazy. I feel like I'm off sides. All right, wait, fix that. Okay.
Oh God, Jean, that sounds horrible. What the hell?
All right, let's see. Jean says the ugliest Christmas sweater I ever saw was a green background. There was a reindeer face on one boob, and the other boob was cut out. Oh, right. So the reindeer like snout could hang out. There was a light red knob to cover the nipple. That takes some serious nipples to wear that shirt, man. To wear that sweater to anywhere, even to a photo shoot. It takes serious.
I have an off-script comment for us. It came in by text. It's my spouse saying they're not even paying attention.
That's cute.
Mom's on television. I do not care.
Not on this television. She's not in a Christmas special. Yes, she is. Pay attention.
So
all right, I can't do it. I can't drink the eggnog anymore. I had like 2 sips and I'm like, bah, going whiskey.
One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was, man, it's depressing to see people on like Twitter and shit like dragging Christmas. Why do witches do that? Why do we have to drag everything that's fun? The world is bleak and shitty. Enjoy what you have.
Man, yeah, it's like I can't help but call it Christmas because that's what I grew up calling it. And my family was the furthest from religion. Like they just didn't do any religious stuff. There was no there was no family rituals, which isn't great. Like I don't like that now. Like I thought I was kind of free of something then, but it would have been nice to like have at least some sort of rituals, but that were slightly spiritual. But like our rituals were presents, right? And that was it. So it's a little cold. But I mean, it's the happiest I got. Okay, so that's and so I like Christmas. I've always been a fan. I'm the person who starts putting Christmas music on right after Thanksgiving.
I put a link in chat to you to a blog post that I post every single year to give people an idea of where I'm coming from in terms of what Christmas was like for me growing up, which was not great. My family didn't do anything ever, and we're in fact like the evilest people every day of the year. But I don't know. I took some things out of that experience. I guess I've always been the kind of person to try and find some good in the bad, and maybe that's how I survived. But looking back on it, and I don't know, I have a lot of empathy for a younger me that tried to give some measure of Christmas spirit to my siblings. Even though I could not find that magic for myself, I tried to give it to them. And I think there's an important magical lesson in that. We have this opportunity to embody something here that even if we don't have children and we're not Christians and we don't celebrate Christmas in that way, there's still a kind of magic that we can find in it. And it's such a simple thing, Plus Santa's great. One, we have been celebrating some form of St. Nicholas, Father Christmas, etc., bringing gifts to kids for about 1,750 years, which is longer than any neo-pagan tradition has been practiced. So Santa has an egregore. Santa is thought form, a tulpa. We could make a lot of debates about that. There's definitely a kind of magic there that we could all tap into. If everyone all over the world talks about this entity in the same way, we're definitely building a myth.
Okay.
Two,
okay.
In Santa's favor, Santa is the patron saint of prostitutes. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. Let me think about that.
Saint Nicholas in Catholic canon is the patron saint of prostitutes. And that is actually the reason why we do Christmas stockings. Saint Nicholas, the Austrian saint, he had sort of a soft spot for young girls that might wind up in prostitution because they did not have a dowry to marry well. So when they came of age, he would leave bags of gold anonymously as gifts for them to use as a dowry. And as the story goes, he would often slip them in a window and hang them in socks and stockings hanging by the fire to dry. And that is exactly where that comes from. So
Wow.
pro-sex work Santa. Cool.
So he was giving them money so that they wouldn't have to be prostitutes.
Yes. But it came to evolve into him being protective of.
Sure. I mean, it's the same energy going towards that, right? Like, I don't want you to have to do that, but if you have to do that, I'm still going to take care of you.
Right. I'm going to protect you.
Yeah.
He's also the patron saint of wolves.
So one of those Odin crossovers, right?
A little bit, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Santa can do necromancy. Who knew that one? There is a legend about like this evil butcher type guy who killed his 3 children, chopped them up into bits and put them in a barrel to be pickled and made into like meat pies, sort of like Sweeney Todd style, I guess.
Barrels of pickled child meat?
Correct, yes.
Got you.
Santa's having none of this because Santa's the patron saint of children. So he goes to the place. Some of these stories include him knocking out the butcher, which I'm surprised he's not like the patron saint of, I don't know, boxers or something. But he reanimates the children, brings them back to life.
What?
He raises them from the dead.
Okay, so were they already pickled in the thing? Or
in some of the stories, they've even been cut up into bits. He reanimates them. He brings them back to life.
Wow. All right. So that could be a sweet movie.
So if St. Nicholas's feast day is Christmas, which is syncretized with the winter solstice, we're talking about the death and then rebirth of the light, the sun being reborn, reanimated. That's a really strong connection between Santa Claus and necromancy, just in terms of resurrection and reanimation. So an interesting figure to work with if you do that kind of magic.
So how would somebody work with that energy? Like, how would you suggest if they wanted to tap into necromantic Santa, what would that altar look like? What would that, I don't know. How far have you gone into this? How far have you thought about it? Is it a chapter in something coming up?
We'll get there. We'll get there. I think Santa as a necromancer is about healing and helping. And that's a big part of my necromantic magic as well. It's about taking care of people. So if you're looking for a figure to help you when you're trying to rescue someone from death's door, or someone who has lost consciousness, someone who's, think about all those situations in which you have a loved one in surgery and they flatline and those kinds of things. Like, this is a perfect figure to call on, particularly if that person is a child.
Dude, that's a really incredible idea. That is really impressive because, you know, he's so known as a protector of children, right? And he's a lover of children and all of that. And just the myth, right? We're just talking about what did you call it before? Like the
an egregore, a thought form.
Yeah, that's what you said before. Yeah, it's like you're using that form and in such an amazing way, and especially the reanimator thing. Like that's something. It has me all, if it makes not talking. It makes me feel tongue-tied and weird because we lost my baby sister died when I was 19 and she was 2. I think we've talked about this already, but to think about that as like a thing that, you know, and this is, I'm not trying to bum anybody out, but like, you know, that what if my mom had known about that, I don't know, that thing, that at least to get the help, right, when she was dealing with the situation as it was going on. I'm just saying, I'm glad you're saying this because, you know, somebody can use that at some point and be like, oh no, I know who to call. Call Santa. I learned that, you know, Curricula is really great if you're getting pulled over. You need it right now. Like, right? Because like there's certain what'd you call it again? The form?
Thought forms, egregore,
Egregore.
tulpa.
Yeah, I like that word. But that kind of thing to call up and knowing what the right thing is when it happens, kind of thing. I don't know. If you even believe in that kind of stuff, whatever.
Whatever your thing is, right?
Yeah, everything is.
One thing for me though is, I mean, I'm a parent. I have kids. A lot of us do. I mean, I think there's maybe possibly a perception somewhere out there on the internet that witches are all like 25 years old and sexy and never have children or whatever. But a lot of us are parents. That's the reality. And
I mean, just as many of my witch friends are parents as my non-witch friends. It's like the same ratio.
Yeah, when you parent as a pagan person, I think Christmas is one of those things that's a big question. Like a lot of holidays you can sort of gloss over or they don't matter, but Christmas gets to be a weird one, right? That one's a big question. And I really think, hot take, here's my hot take of the night. I think pagan parents go the wrong direction with it.
Uh-oh, we had angry faces.
I mean, I think that we lean.
I think she made a mistake. She wouldn't have given us an angry face.
I think we lean into Yule, winter solstice, and we sort of secularize Christmas, and we just sort of forget about that stuff, right? Santa's a thing that people do, and we don't really talk about it or make it part of our lives. But it is an inevitability for your children that they're going to learn about it and see it, right?
Yeah, even if you never mention Santa in all of your parenting, wherever they go, Santa's everywhere. Who is that guy? Why do people keep talking to him? Everybody in my class knows this guy's Santa. Right.
So I came to look at Santa Claus in the same way that we already understand other gods in our household. We are not, we're not blind to the idea of mythical beings whose physical manifestations are us in the world, right? We are enacting the God's will all the time. They see that and they understand that and they know what altars are and they see libations and they see all these things constantly. They're part of your daily life. Maybe. Some of us are very lazy witches. It's me. But if gods and spirits are something that we can't see but feel and respond to the needs of, what is Santa Claus if not that? It's a thought form manifested by the hopes and dreams and wishes of millions of children over nearly 2,000 years. Realistically, Santa has a following older than any neo-pagan tradition. I mean, it's just a fact. We breathe life into the Santa Claus myth every single day. And we cannot possibly argue that it isn't a real or meaningful presence. It just is.
See, this makes me think of American Gods, right?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. Like anywhere that God is, or thought form, or whatever, is worshipped and thought of as real, given offerings and altars are set up for them, and all of that stuff. If they are worshipped, if they are thought about in that way, they exist there in some form, right?
And fight me, children worship Santa. They do.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and that's what I'm saying. It's so strong. Like that's what I'm saying is exactly that. Like wherever and that icon, that myth is absolutely, real to them. Absolutely real to them.
So I would say that Santa Claus is the perfect beginner's guide for your children to pagan gods, and it's one that other kids in the world will accept and acknowledge.
But it's like it's going to be one that's going to make them sound crazy.
Everyone understands Santa Claus's rituals, writing letters, leaving milk and cookies, visiting him, etc.
Right, but showing them that you're supposed to grow out of that, because that's what the rest of the world's going to tell them, is that you're supposed to grow out of magic. And
see, we don't do
that shit. So it would be sad just because all of their friends and everybody else would be like, it's not even like, well, we never worship that God. It was like, yeah, we used to, but nobody does that anymore. Right. You know what I mean? It's almost like, but it's weird. I was thinking about this on the way here. I was thinking about this exact thought about this whole idea of it. And that, you know, not growing up with any religion, not growing up with any sort of supernatural visualization of a god or somebody who controlled me. I didn't grow up with anything like that. And so it's really hard. Even at like 5, when I asked my mom about Santa Claus, she was like, well, like she told me that, you know, Santa was a guy who lived a long time ago who really did those things. And he was awesome. And he was so good that they just kind of gave him sainthood kind of thing. But he's not real, and those things aren't real. And so I grew up in a very like you know, but I was thinking about that on the way here, like how does that play into our deity worship, and did that help us accept magic earlier, that kind of thing?
What I like to do, rather than supporting an idea of Santa that becomes a falsehood, right? It becomes a deception to be revealed. I like to sort of view it as a secret best kept by the initiates of Santa. Once you have reached an age in which you are enlightened to understand it, you too become an initiate of Santa. You become Santa. You become the priesthood of Santa. You get to act out their will in the world. You get to keep that secret sacred for other children.
That's beautiful. I want that. I want to find that. I want to be part of that. That's beautiful. Ah.
I think that it's better to teach our children that it's our duty to keep sacred the mysteries of these holiday traditions until the time is right to pass them on to little seekers of gifts. You teach them what it is to hold an altar to Santa in their heart and to spread that goodness to others. So bullet points, here's some of the stuff I like. I like to teach my kids that the holiday tree is an altar to Santa. And it's somewhere that we place offerings as gifts that we have purchased for others in his name. So when we set up the tree, we consecrate it and we make it a sacred space. We let milk and cookies be a libation. We don't leave them for Santa. We share them with Santa. You know, we break a cookie, leave a bite, take a bite, recognizing that we are participating in what that is. And it's also a good opportunity to do things like, we know on Circle Night, we do apple cider and snickerdoodles because that's the high priestess' favorite things, and they're being the goddess for that night. So for Santa, we're choosing eggnog and Oreos because those are mommy and daddy's favorite or whatever. It's a good way to sort of teach that kind of interaction, I think. It's just like any other libation. When we're done with that exchange, we take the milk and cookies out to nature and leave them. We make sure to choose things that don't have chocolate or other things that would be dangerous, of course, for animals. No chocolate chip cookies for Santa.
Wow.
We use language like, that's what the holiday spirits led me to choose for you, rather than things like Santa brought this.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It also really helps in terms of situations like children returning to school and they have an affluent family and Santa brought them a lot of nice things. And
Right.
other children don't understand why they didn't get those similar things. So when you separate that idea,
Being put on how good you are, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, because the better you are, the more you'll get, kind of a thing.
That's another thing we don't do. We absolutely don't do naughty and nice because we don't do concept of sin in our house. You should be
Right.
good because you want to be good.
Right.
Right.
But if I said the word sin to my kids, they would laugh me out. You know, like that's just not, it's not a way to teach people that, oh, it's morally bad and you're bad if you do it. And sin itself is.
I think we've all evolved beyond Christians stole Yule from us and made it Christmas. We know it's a syncretized holiday. So instead of any of that stuff, I like to just think of Christmas as Santa's feast day. So we look at it like that.
So Christy said that this would be a lovely children's book, and the more you talk, the more this keeps ringing true. Like everything you're saying, maybe a little children's book.
Maybe.
And Rachel says she loves the tree as the altar.
Oh. Another thing we do is that when we visit someone dressed as Santa or we see someone dressed as Santa, rather than telling them that it is Santa, we tell them that it's someone embodying Santa, like a drawing down. Well,
And that makes so much sense.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, because you dress up and you become, right?
They're connecting with Santa's spirit, with the spirit of the holiday. And if they tell them something that they want Santa to hear, the spirit of Santa will hear it.
Jason says, don't forget the Christmas goat.
We will make tacos out of the Christmas goat. I'm just kidding. That was horrible.
Well, eventually you're going to.
Every year for Lupercalia. They're like the best. But no, we don't do naughty or nice because it promotes a concept of sin, obviously. We teach generosity for its own sake. We save fallen needles from the tree to make incense or give away as gifts.
That's a good.
And we burn them for the next year's Yule fire. We save like a little bit to burn the next year. And we try and teach them that Santa is someone you can call on to inspire goodness. I'm going to invoke Santa to help me pick out gifts for you, that sort of thing. But I brought some rituals to share if people want them.
Yes. Jean has a question real quick. Can't you make pine tea with them too?
You can, but most people are buying their trees from tree farms and from stores like Lowe's and things, and they're going to be treated with pesticides. So I would not recommend that. If you know where they were grown and you know they haven't been treated in such a way, and make your own choices. But I would not use needles from a tree that came from Walmart or something. That would be probably not for the best.
And yes, we want your rituals. Let's hear them. What you got?
A tree and tree skirt consecration, which you could do as you set up your tree or after the fact. Go home, do these. You're there now. You need water, candle, incense. If you're doing these with kids, I strongly fucking recommend like a little battery operated candle so they can really participate in the ritual. But Christmas trees are extremely flammable. Pine is very flammable. So be careful. Have a fire extinguisher on hand if you're using real candles all the time. Yes, Amy's right.
Hold on. There we go.
Soaked in chemical wash. Keep them green.
Gray blankets have been soaked in a chemical wash them to keep them green longer. So even the greens for gray blankets? Really? Huh. Good to know.
So okay. Also have comments in private chat because I think maybe you can share it on the screen. I don't know. Maybe.
Never had anyone chat me on this before. Let's give it a shot. We're breaking into all kinds of things.
You'll want a milk and cookies libation on hand. You'll help your child or yourself light a candle or use your battery operated, prepare some incense and water the tree. That's part of your, just like you might sense and sprinkle your circle, you water your tree. And you say, by twinkling lights and candle flame, by smoke of incense that fills the air, by the earth in which this tree grew, by the water that sustains it, we make this space welcome to the spirit of giving. And then you play some Christmas music and dance around the tree to raise energy. Welcome the holiday spirits into your home. That's awesome. And then afterward, you can signify that that is a sacred space by placing the first gifts of the season underneath as an offering to the spirits of giving. And finish with your libation of milk and cookies. It's a very kid-friendly ritual.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Jean says she loves this idea. I do too. I think this is awesome. I'm telling you, you need to write this book. Or I know people are going to ask about it. Can they see that anywhere? Is that?
I will post up a blog post or something with that.
And what's your blog?
It's at my website at mortellus.com.
That's it.
Also, if you're there, if you wind up shopping in my web store, you have till the 15th for Christmas shipping. And I do have a sale if you use coupon code HOLIDAY to give you 20% off. But if you don't use the coupon, I'll give that discount to a funeral fund that I've been supporting.
Yeah, I loved that. I saw that the other day. I saw it after I made my order. And I didn't really care because I was like, whatever. The money goes to you. But then when I saw your other post, it was like, yeah, if you don't use the 20% off, like, oh, I'm even more glad I didn't know. Awesome. Yay.
I confess I cheated, and maybe everyone listening will consider what I have said, but the wonderful author, Rusiana, I'm sure you've all read some of her work. Her father is dying, and it's a really tough holiday for her. And I took the discount from your order in particular and sent it to them by PayPal along with some other funds, because I've been trying to support them a little bit. So if you look on my Facebook, you'll see a public post with how to connect with them if you too wanted to support them a little bit while they're with their father.
That's awesome. And they'll find that on your website, right?
On Twitter, on Facebook, all that stuff.
Cool.
Another ritual I brought for you is a drawing down ritual. Imagine letting a kid do a drawing down. That's huge, right?
I love it.
But it is a Santa drawing down.
For me, it's a good one to start with, right? It's just the center. It's just the idea of like joy and giving and love and hearty laughter. Love it. Where are you stuck? You frozen? Uh-oh. Well, I'm gonna guess yes. I'm picturing a child dressed in a red cloak, bringing down the feel of Santa. She'll be back with us in just a sec. Yep. No. You moved. Take a little drink. Whatever you're drinking at home, take a little drink. Da, 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 da. Yeah, she is frozen with a smile. That's true. Yep. That's good. Oh, well, man, she'll be back. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Hey, it's the Christmas show. Woohoo! So yeah, this weird piece over here is made by my friend Jay Miller, and it's pretty neat. It lights up too, which is weird. Here, I'm gonna add her back to the screen, but I'm gonna talk about this thing for a second.
At least I froze with a smile, said Jason. Great.
Yeah, you did. Like, look, this thing is unplugged, right? Oh, see, but oh, it lights up. Yeah, it's fine. The rest of the set's fine.
Since these are rituals,
anyway, I was just trying to find time till you got back.
Since these are rituals for kids, you want them to be pretty simple, easy to understand, obviously. This particular ritual relies on your senses. It's a really great way to connect with a drawing down in the first place for us grown-ups. We all know that technique if we're having like a panic attack. Connect with what you can see and smell and hear and touch and taste.
Mm-hmm.
This operates on a really similar principle. So you're sitting around your consecrated tree. You're asking them to imagine Santa's goodness and generosity by connecting with your tree as sort of a touchstone through their senses. Sparkling like lights would be sight. The needles of the tree would be scent. The rough bark of the trunk could be touch. Eating a candy cane hanging from it could be taste. Shaking a gift under the tree for sound. Afterward, have them take some action that signifies they're now embodying Santa, like having a Santa hat on hand they can put on. Then, while you're still in your sacred space, have them wrap gifts that you chose together in advance to donate to a charity like Toys for Tots or something like that. Finish by giving your libation of cookies and milk, and then go immediately to the donation center to drop them off. Let them be a part of spreading goodwill, and through those actions of generosity, see what it's like to embody those spirits and how good it can make them feel to give and bring joy.
I especially like that you take them to the donation center. I like that it's all the way through.
Yeah, yeah. So I think those are some things you can bring into your life as a pagan parent, I think, or a pagan adult who just wants to have some fun and enjoy the holiday without explaining to yourself in the back of your mind about how it's a Jesus holiday. Just fuck that, forget it. But who is it a Jesus holiday for? Nobody. It's literally nobody. So throw that out in the trash and have fun. consecrate your tree, kick up some Bing Crosby, dance, raise some energy, and let those holiday spirits into your home. That is my speech for tonight.
I love it. I love it. It's get the spirits moving, right? Because that's what it's all about. The spirit, raising the spirit.
That's what it's all about.
It's funny. I can see it. I think it makes, once again, we're talking about like how making breaking it down religious wise, it makes it easier to connect to think about, because it's something that has been a part of everyone for so long. But it's the Christmas spirit, man. It runs through you, it runs through all of us. And I think that because it's so widespread, it's easier to tap into. You can seriously just tap into it by watching a movie. Right? You just watch a movie and then suddenly you feel that thing that we all feel. I'm addicted to stupid ass Christmas movies. I watch them all the time. They're terrible. I love them. Daddy's Home too. I think it must be one of my favorite movies.
It has been my goal to watch like all of this year's new crappy ones, which is it is bad. It's bad out there.
There's some bad ones. There's some I couldn't even make it through. It's almost like when I'm trying to watch the worst shark movies, right? Like some of them I can watch most of them because they're just that cheesy, but some of them are just that bad I can't. It's almost like. Go ahead.
Have you seen Shark Exorcist?
Yes. Yes, I have.
I love that movie.
That's one of my favorites. It was all because of a nun, wasn't it? But yeah, like the girl on the steps. It was like so. Oh,
that movie's so weird. My God,
it's so weird. I kind of wanted to know where they filmed it though, because it was like, oh God, and that whole group of shark movies, because there's a bunch of them that are all that same director and a couple of the same actors, and it's like some kid with like one of the old little 8mm cameras, and a terrible lighting, terrible everything, and yet I can't stop watching.
So I'm sending you right now some visual aids if you want them, but I came prepared to share my top 3 favorite holiday movies.
Oh, okay. I am all about talking about this. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get all of them.
So I have a soft spot for shitty movies. Let me just tell you. And I will tell everyone. I grew up with people that did not love me. But we'll just yay, holidays, fun. And that puts questions in a child's mind. Why? What's wrong with me in particular? And I think I love crappy movies because it's something that a person loved so much that they loved an idea enough to write it down. They made it. People agreed to star in it and people invested in it. And it was something they wanted so badly to be good. And I feel like if I can love the worst thing that they made, then I too am lovable. I think there's something precious in that.
That's beautiful. I didn't know that makes sense. Is that why I love crappy movies too? Okay. All right. Let's look at some of your crappy movies. Ready? Not crappy movies, but these are your favorite movies.
These are my favorite bad Christmas movies.
Ready?
Yes. Ooh, the Santa Claus. This is also called Santa Claus versus the Devil. And I love this movie. It was originally a Spanish film, I believe. It's about a little girl named Lupita from a poor family. And it sort of follows along with the idea that she really wants this particular gift and doesn't believe that she'll get it. And the devil is tempting her just to steal it. And Santa is watching from Santa's spaceship, which has like this weird periscope eyebrow and this weird periscope ear thing. It's so weird. But this movie gave birth to something that has been sort of a running gag in my family for a long time. And my college friends and I. And we call it the Lupita Argument. Because much like the Shaggy defense, Lupita has a very particular way of arguing why she cannot steal this doll. Because that would be bad, which is not good, which is bad.
Wow.
Why not? Because it's bad, which isn't good, which is bad. It's like, you don't need a real reason. That's the reason.
That's the reason. I can't explain it to you. That's what she means. I don't have the words to explain it to you, but I know it. And that's my argument, and I'm sticking to it. I get it. I understand, Lupita.
But
Feel
there's
her.
like literal like Satan in there, and then spaceship Santa. It's like a whole. It's a scene. Go watch it. It's great.
All right, I'm gonna put it back on, and I'm gonna make my screen full screen so I can see it.
If we're all being like really naughty adults, Santa's weird like spaceship panel has like the periscope eyeball and ear and a mouth, which there's no way Santa didn't put his dick in at some point because it is fucking creepy. This
I'm
big
sorry.
flashlight mouth thing.
Wait. I need to go back. I need to get this off the screen so I can talk to you for a second. Wait, so lost. When I went to full screen, it reset everything to everywhere. Okay, but wait, go back. Okay, eyeball, periscope, mouth, dick. What?
I'm gonna try and find a picture. Hang on.
Okay, so it's called Santa Claus, just Santa Claus, and then it's also called Santa Claus versus the Devil, which are two very different sounding movies to me, right?
Yeah. But they are the same film.
But they are the same thing.
Let's see. Hang on. I'm gonna find you a picture of this absurd panel. I'll send it to you.
All right, you know what you should do? Here, I got an idea. Here's what you should do. You should send me a link to what it is that you want me to see, and then I will open that link, and then I will share my whole screen, so we don't have to do this weird split thing. I think that'll work.
Let's see. I might have to send you like a couple, but here's the weird like mouth thing.
I can't wait to see what this is.
Oh my God, why won't Facebook load? My internet is so crap right now.
Wow thing. I know we lost you for a minute. It's terrible.
I live in what we like to call here the boonies.
Mm-hmm.
In bumfuck nowhere. That's
okay.
Tell me Santa fucked that. There's no way.
I'm trying to get it to work. Don't stop. I can't see it yet. Okay. Whoa. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna. Here we go. I hope you guys are watching this. This is gonna get weird. I'm gonna share this to all of you before I keep scrolling. Don't let your kids look at this. I don't know what it is yet. And I know your kids are watching, so you know whatever is happening there.
They've seen this movie.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, here we go. So, so here's the movie itself, Santa Claus, or Santa Claus. That doesn't say, I don't see it versus the devil, but I see the devil, which I need this, actually. This, I don't know if anyone's watching wants to buy me a Christmas present, but I need this picture just framed somewhere. Christmas decor. Okay, this is the mouth she's talking about. Yep, so, yep.
But it's like a walkie-talkie. He can talk to people on Earth with it, which is, no thank you.
What?
But there's also a panel with a giant ear, and it like periscopes out into the world. Yeah, there's the eyeball. Yes.
There's the eyeball, which looks like a lamp. Looks like one of the. Looks like a.
Rivka Fox, I'm very sorry that you had to hear about Santa's stick immediately upon looking.
Wait, oh, weird comments. What am I missing? Hold on. Wait, let's stop sharing. Let's tuned in just time here.
I told you, Rachel, it looks like a flashlight.
I'm just saying, Rivka kind of brings that energy to the party. You know, she's like, what do I want to make weird tonight? I wonder what Tiffany's doing. So she tuned in just to see, and she knows. Everybody knows, Rivka knows. She brings the weird. So I think that speaking of drawing down things, I feel like we just got the Rivka drawdown with the mouth thing. Looks like a flashlight. It totally looks like a flashlight. But you know the. All right. Rivka just says thanks. Like I said, she knows. She knows. All right. Okay. So that was movie number 1, and that was fucking awesome. We might go back to that page in a second, just so everybody's ready for that.
You've got to do Santa Claus versus the Martians next. We need that one.
Okay. All right. Let's go. I have to switch out of comments, so you have to let me know if anything good happens in comments. I'm going back over somewhere else. And I can't tell which switch, but is it this one? Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. Yeah.
Santa Claus versus the Martians is a classic, and it somehow manages to be racist against Martians, which I did not think was possible, but here we are.
Okay, explain.
The Martians kidnap Santa Claus for reasons that remain dubious for most of the film.
Okay.
And a lot of Mars.
The Martians just kidnap him. They don't say why.
First,
you can't leave me now. I don't know this movie. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Well, it happens. She'll be back. We'll take this off for a little bit. Oh, you're back. All right. Martians, kidnap Santa. Go.
Oh, I was just saying that most of Mars is a pegboard lined white room where we're just doing a lot of green face. You just gotta watch it. This one is a mystery to everyone, even those who have seen it.
I want to see it closer. All right, I'm gonna full screen this real quick for myself. So again. Okay. All right. Okay. Man, you know some weird shit. I don't know any of these. These are freaking great. I'm so excited. Okay. All right. Moving on. Next. Again, reset. Hold on 1 sec. Okay. Oh, well, yes.
This movie this is fantastic because it stars 0% of the original cast. Literally none. Not a single one. And it was made years after the monsters were relevant. It is wonderful. Things that happen in this film. Santa gets turned into a sentient fruitcake that cannot speak, but mostly functions on nodding his head. The fruitcake has a hat on still. For reasons unknown to anyone, at the end, the reindeer can't fly the sleigh, so they enlist a group of bikers, which are all dressed like hardcore leather gays. It's fabulous. Totally. They are hitched up to the sleigh, and they fly it. The actual human people, not on their bikes or anything. It's a thing. You have to just see for yourself.
Wait, so the bikers themselves are like the reindeer, not their bikes?
They get hitched up to the sleigh, and they're just like the reindeer magic, and they fly the sleigh.
Oh, that's a lot of leather play for a monsters movie.
It is. Yes.
Wow.
And it has a weird subplot, like they're broke or something and want to buy a gift for Eddie, who's having a Christmas crisis. So we get sort of a montage of bad dad part-time holiday jobs, which is like a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And then you have like a crappy neighbor doing this whole I'm gonna beat you at the holiday lights display situation when they're not even trying. And it's a thing. Just like go watch it.
Okay. All right.
We're killing Jean. I'm so sorry, Jean.
Oh, she's good. She's fine. She's loving it. Just a shout out to Jean real quick, just because I'm thinking about it. She's the one who runs a book club for her own stimulation. She does it because she loves it, and she's amazing at it, and I couldn't appreciate her more. And this month they're actually doing a ritual instead of a book meeting. So if anybody wants to be a part of that Cultum Librorum group on Facebook, because man, she's like putting together like roles, who wants to call quarters, like she's doing a whole thing, and I'm really super impressed. It's freaking awesome. So
I had to switch out in the interim to my.
Or are we switching? Wait, is it costume change?
I had another look. I had to.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on. I'm gonna lose the jingle bells. Ow. They're a little sticky. I now have an elf hat. I have to adjust my camera now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just got real. Christmas show. Phase. Step 2. Just got better.
I got my little holly bells as well.
Let me see real quick. Oh,
they can't be seen.
Barrettes.
Yeah.
I love them. I love them
when I'm doing elf stuff at the mall.
I love that you have outfits for elf stuff. That makes me so happy.
Well, you'll love this then. Hang on. I wasn't going to give you this, but here we go.
Oh, give it to me. What you got?
Well, I mean, you can't really see the whole thing, but it was just a photo I had on hand. I not only have elf costumes, I made my elf costumes. And like, here's some of my seamstress work because I decorated all the hems of all my elf dresses. Whoops. I sent it to you like 1,000 times for no reason. Sorry.
Thanks for saying 1,000 times. Let's see. Okay.
I sew and shit, god damn it.
All right, check it out. Look at this. I'm getting better at things. I'm gonna share this real quick instead. Yes. Look at me. Why won't it? Come on. Is it this? Yeah, there you go.
Yay, Jean. I love aprons. I have a whole collection of them.
I love aprons too. I have them. I only wear them at holidays at all. But yeah, I love them too. Right. There we go.
My many, many elf costumes.
I love it. Oh, Jean says, Jean, you're just amazing. So she's sewing aprons, and then I'm upcycling men's dress shirts into aprons. Oh, what a nice, like, light fabric for that, right? Like I'm just picturing that kind of thin cottony. I like that. That's good. You can also embroider on that really easy too, which is nice. I don't know what kind of stuff you're doing to them, but I love embroidered, like old embroidered aprons. I found, trash. I picked trash, whatever. There was this one, like somebody had emptied out this whole thing, and it looked like it was somebody's mom had started this in the 60s. It was an apron form, like it wasn't hemmed or anything, because they had just taken this time to do all this embroidery, and that was it. And there was a bunch of extra fabric and like things that were cut out but like half done. I took all of it. I took all of it. I was like, this is somebody put so much time and love into doing this thing. And actually, my altar is like an old dresser that just has 2 big drawers, and I put the things in the bottom that I'm like, I kind of want to imbue this with magical stuff. It's kind of like the heater drawer at the bottom of your stove, where like it's just kind of gets brushed with magic all the time. So someday when I need that fabric, it's already cooked in a way. But yeah, because I learned to embroider when I was a kid, and to see stuff like that was like somebody put so much time and love and effort into it, and then just never finished it, kind of thing. So I was like, I'm gonna finish this for them someday.
I nearly forgot that I brought all of you a few death-related facts about Christmas. If you want them.
Yes.
Superstition holds that at midnight on Christmas or New Year's is the perfect time to get rid of any unwelcome ghosts, ghouls, or spirits. All you have to do is open your front door.
On Christmas evening?
Christmas Eve.
So, okay, at midnight on between the 24th and 25th.
Mm-hmm. It's also a liminal time, much like Halloween, and Scandinavian folklore states that between sunset on Christmas Eve and sunrise Christmas morning, the dead can roam freely. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. Jeff, we're talking about the dead roaming, and which is amazing. I didn't know that was for Christmas too. I thought it was just Halloween. Yeah.
Clothes are very important, obviously. If you would like to curse someone so that they will die, it's very easy. Just make sure nobody gives them any clothes for Christmas, and the Yule Cat will carry them right off.
Oh my God, what? To make sure everyone I know gets clothing for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Also, according to English tradition, not gifting shoes to someone in need through the course of your life at some point ensures that you will enter the underworld barefoot yourself.
I've given away so many pairs of shoes, it's ridiculous. New ones, old ones. I found these at the thrift store. I thought you'd like them. So I think I'm good there. But yeah, man. I usually give all the kids jammies for Christmas. I was going to do that this year, but maybe I'm going to dobby them. I'm going to give them all one sock.
If you make a pile of salt the night before Christmas, It's a way to predict your own death. If it's gone when you wake up in the morning, start planning your funeral.
If the pile of salt is gone,
Yep.
You're gonna die.
In the coming year. At Christmas dinner, you're supposed to have everyone at the table cut an apple in half wrong ways. If everyone's apple has 5 seeds, like a pentagram, all good. If someone's apple only has 4, someone at the table will die in the next year.
Holy shit, these are terrible. I don't want to do that. Because then, isn't if that happened, everyone would be like, that was Tiffany's party. Yeah, you know why that happened, right?
There's also a superstition that the first person to leave the table after dinner is already doomed to an early grave. So just help yourself to some extra bread pudding and just like, or leave the table all at one time. It's like a loophole. You'll be all set. Stand up at once.
That's the mom. Every dinner, that's the mom. She's going to leave first. So it sucks.
And this is something my grandmother always said when I was little.
I like that. It keeps everybody there, right? Don't leave. You can't leave.
You're supposed to clean up very well after the holidays. That every pine needle or leaf left behind could indicate the death of someone you know and love. My grandmother always said that by midnight on New Year's, every bit of greenery from the holiday should be gone from inside your house because it was very bad luck for the next year.
Yeah, that's just somebody trying to get you to clean up. Telling you right now.
Jean says make your least favorite relative leave first.
Don't you got a bus to catch or something? Man, yeah, these are weird. Okay, so is that all of them?
It's an amount of them. This is ones I had on hand.
Is there more? Because I want to talk about them. I just don't want to keep cutting you off.
Go for it.
Okay, so if you leave a pile of salt next to your bed, is that what you said?
Just leave a pile of salt in your house, generally.
Anyway,
yeah.
And then if it's gone, you're gonna die
in the coming year. Yes.
In the coming year.
I'd be worried about piles of salt just disappearing generally.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the reason behind this? Like, because demons eat salt? Like, what is like
a lot of the fun facts? I'm contracted to write a whole book about salt for a little. You'll learn a lot of things about salt from me. It's one of my favorite magical tools, but most of these superstitions about salt or magical traditions about salt revolve around how necessary it is for life and how expensive it is. So if you leave out your salt and it's gone or it's stolen, at certain times in history, it might have meant that you would die because you wouldn't have the nutrition that you needed.
And you have no good friends.
Terrible friends. Shitty
Terrible
friends.
So just real quick, Jean says, so if the salt is still there in the morning, then you get to use a Christmas morning margarita, right? Then you use it for that, right? Because now it's extra lucky salt because it means you go and live for a whole nother year. Yeah. Okay.
I have a book coming out next September, which is a book all about necromantic practice called The Bones Fall in a Spiral, a guide to necromancy and the death of magic, which I'm very excited about. But it includes a full practice for working with death, including a whole set of Sabbath rituals. Yes, there's a necromantic ritual for Christmas in there.
So you're just dropping this like it's nothing, right? Like just, oh, by the way, guys. Oh, by the way, I got this new book coming out. Okay, so say it again, but make it slower. Say it with meaning, because God damn it, this is a big fucking deal. Okay, so you have a book coming out in September.
The Bones Fall in a Spiral.
The Bones Fall in a Spiral.
A guide to necromancy and the magic of death. I told Llewellyn that I would cry if they didn't choose this title because it was very important to me. So I titled this book.
I love it. It is fucking poetry.
Thank you. Very excited.
And so what is it? Give us the subtitle again?
A Guide to Necromancy and the Magic of Death.
The Magic of Death. So you were saying that this is all like rituals such as leaving salt out. I'm just kidding.
It's everything. It talks about the history of the practice. It talks about how to craft your own personal practice, but there's also an entire spell book in it, and there's an entire set of rituals from circle casting if you want it, all the way down to Sabbath rituals if you want them. It's a lot of my personal practice, what I do myself.
I love it. That's so exciting. God, it's so exciting. And you also slipped in there a little while ago, that you're writing also a book on salt.
Yes.
You think you slipped that by me? You didn't. I heard it.
I am writing several books right now for Llewellyn. I don't know why they keep letting me sign contracts, but here we are. I'm writing a book about osteomancy and about crow magic and about necrobotany. That will be my third book.
So osteomancy, lay that out for us.
We will be talking about divination with human remains, particularly with bone.
How practical is it for the regular person? I'm just teasing, but because a lot of times it's practical spells for everyone. And you're like, well, this is specifically if you got a dead body, you're going to need this book. Okay. This is a very specific situation. Don't
forget that possession of human remains, particularly bones, is not illegal. This is a thing that you can do. In the United States and in most countries, there are restrictions in Georgia, Tennessee, and Louisiana, but they're kind of narrow. So these are things that you can use in your magical practice. So I'm excited to talk more about it.
I'm excited to hear more about it. I think it sounds awesome. Yeah. So, okay. So again, let's break that down to us for what does that look like? So it's obviously not, you happen to be lucky enough to be at an autopsy, but that sounded wrong.
We're not robbing autopsies. A lot of the pieces available.
Just be present for one. We don't get to be in that kind of situation. So for the layman, when would you use this roadkill?
You could use animal remains if you wanted, or you could use purchased decommissioned osteological specimens. They're available in the market. Or you could also use bones from your own body or your friends. There are lots of people who keep their remains after amputations or things like that.
That's true.
That is something that you can do. And those are ethical remains because you can send it and you know where they came from. The best we can say for medical specimens is that they are responsibly sourced because we can't know their origin, but we can give them a better outcome than winding up in the garbage, which is possible.
How do we get a hold of these things you're talking about?
I feel like that's a conversation for another day. Feels like
yeah. That's a whole other We'll talk later because I need to maybe. I'd like to do some divination on some pieces and parts. Erica says that us kids are magical. Yeah.
Everybody's
so are you. So are you, Erica.
Everybody's magical.
Yes.
Except like Donald Trump or something.
It's funny. People have opinions about people that I don't even know. I don't even know the names now, right? Because I'm so far out of the loop. I don't watch the news. I don't do anything like that. So I just hear that some of my friends, who I respect their opinion, are like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. And I'm like, I could look it up, but God, I'm just gonna assume I agree with you at this point, which I know is lazy. I know, but if you were like, fuck you, blah, 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 you're an enemy of women, I'd be like, yeah, you probably are. I feel like I don't pay attention enough to that stuff, but it also clouds my brain, and then I get really angry. The whole time Trump was in office, it was like a distraction. I was like,
Nathan, if you're interested in donating your body for magical use, send me an email. I'll get you some details about that.
Through the website, Mortellus.com. Is that the best way to email you?
acrowandthedead@gmail.com. I'm always happy to talk to anyone about what that process might be. And I'm always happy to be a middleman for someone because sometimes it's easier to have someone in the industry to arrange and organize and receive and then pass things to the person that you need them to go to.
Do you know what I like about having someone like you in the magical community? Is that you make me think about things I would not have otherwise thought about. You make me, no, you don't make me, you inspire me too, realizing the importance of death thoughts and death planning and death thinking and death acceptance and death positivity and stuff like this. You have single-handedly really like changed a lot of the ways that I feel about it. I realize it's important now. I didn't realize that before. I realized that we need to think about death before it happens in a healthy way, right? That's the thing that I learned from you. Also, you helped me tremendously make a bunch of people cry the other day.
Oh no!
Because yep, I blamed you then too.
Oh no!
Well, here's the thing. So my very good friend, my very, very good friend lost his pet unexpectedly to a terrible accident, and it was very, very sad, and it was horrible. And so I was asked to do a goodbye ritual type of thing. We did like a bonfire, and it was beautiful. But part of the thing that I read was your thing about companion animals. And I did. I was like, this part's gonna be rough, but you can blame Mortellus. It's from her book. It's not my words. But it was when I read it, because I went to your book because he asked me to do. He's like, do you know about anything like doing like death rituals for animals? And I was like, actually, I do, because of you, because I know this lady that I interviewed on my show, and she has the most amazing book about death rituals that are non-traditional. And so I was able to go to your book, and I was able to totally steal a bunch of your words. And so I was reading, I was like, I had your book propped up, and I was typing out the words, so, it would be part of my speech. So I was just kind of inserting your quote into the middle of it. And I'm reading, I'm like typing the words, and I'm thinking about my friend and his dog, and I'm literally sobbing while typing the words. And I'm like, oh God, you fuckers are in for it. Like, this is going to be so bad. Like, it was great, but you made a bunch of people cry. I just want you to know that.
Writing that book, I confess, I spent a lot of time crying over it, because you have to put yourself in that headspace. So I couldn't write that chapter without thinking of every pet I lost and making those feelings be raw, which was very hard when we were talking about things like the child loss chapter and having to really fixate on my miscarriages and things like that. It was hard, but hopefully that rawness came through in its truth for people. And
that's exactly the words I would use, that your rawness came through, because it came through when I was retyping it, and it came through when they had to hear me talk about it, because I got choked up again. If I hadn't done the bawling while typing it out, I would have done that on the floor reading it, and then they wouldn't have been able to hear me. It would have been terrible. So I think that practicing it and going over it a couple of times and reading it a couple of times to you get the tears out over time, so that when I had to get up there, that wasn't so bad. But man, that was rough. But I want to thank you, because you helped me through that. You helped my friend through that. You laid down at least a direction to look towards for help with this topic that we don't think about and don't talk about until it's time that you need it. And you can do better when right? Not that anyone's choosing to not do better, but like when I appreciate you.
I'm glad I could be there for you, with you, through my words. I've gotten so many emails and Instagram messages, Facebook messages from just total strangers telling me a story that they felt like they hadn't been able to share with anyone else, because they read the book and they got something from it, or they were able to use it in some way. And it's powerful, and it's painful, and it's raw, and it just, I've read that book all over again just for those people.
You're doing the good work, friend. You really are. I like it.
you were talking about us needing to think about death. So it's getting late and nobody wants to stay and listen to us all night. So what if I leave you with a couple of things to think about?
Yes.
I talked about there being a necromantic ritual for Christmas in this book. How is that, though? We let years carry so much of us. We blame them for everything that is. 2021 was such a bastard. Everybody step quietly into 2022. Don't claim it as your own and don't be loud. Don't touch anything. 2020, I'm still just surviving. I haven't even processed. But we give them all the blame without giving them any of the agency or any of the closure. We want those new beginnings and closure for ourselves. We don't think of the year as an entity, as something that we've poured a lot of thought and time into, experiences. It will always stand as a grave marker for a set of experiences. We look back throughout our lives and those numbers become tombstones for the experiences that we had in those years. So I suggest that your Christmas ritual for yourself be in recognition that the year is dying. It's on its deathbed. It's the end of the year. We have to celebrate it for what it was, not expect more of it. Lift up the good, accept the bad. So I wrote an invocation. The ghost of the old year is with us yet. We call them forth to celebrate and to mourn what these last months have been. The death of the old year is upon us. But as we attend their bedside, it is known that we must lift up what is good. Spend your ritual talking about what you can celebrate in the year, the gifts it gave you, rather than focusing on the bad. Give the year the funeral it deserves. Pour out some of your syrup for 2021.
I love it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for making the show. You really are the reason it happened. You are the reason that we have a holiday special this year.
Well, maybe we can make it a tradition.
I love it. I love it. I had a, man, when we talked, I get grand thoughts. I was like, man, we could have like pop on guests who would like just be here to like talk about a real quick thing. Be like, here's a holiday tip. Like, like Amy could come on and be like, here's a holiday cocktail you might enjoy. Jason Mankey could be like, here's a weird thing about Odin and stuff and things. Like, it would just almost turning into like a variety show. We could get Cora to dance for us. I don't know. Whatever.
We cut away to like another screen and we have like S.J. Tucker doing a Christmas song or something.
You see what I'm saying? Maybe we should make this a whole thing. I'm just saying, like, it would be really fun. But yeah,
that would be so much fun.
Yeah. So we're ending the show, but just I almost feel like I was surprised to have the show, and I was really sort of emotional when I didn't get to have my finale because because we had to cancel the show. I was going to say my guest canceled, but they didn't. It was actually me who had to cancel the show, which was even worse. And so this is the last show of the year. This is the finale. This is the end of season 2.
I didn't think of it like that, but I'm honored.
This is it. And so I'm just a little verklempt. I'm a little choked up. And we're literally laying down to die season 2 of Witch Lab Wednesday Live. So it has been a wonderful year. I want to thank everybody who's been on the show. I want to thank you for making this show happen, Mortellus, you wonderful creature, you. I want to thank my staff, and I want to thank everybody. I love you all, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, happy all the things that I don't know and don't want to be disrespectful by fucking up. mispronouncing it. Whatever. Happy everything. Happy everything. Happy all the things. I hope you get to spend time with the people you love and enjoy. And I'll see you guys all in January. Sarah Mastros is my first guest of the year, and that's going to be awesome. And yeah, so everybody, wonderful. Happy holidays. I love you all. Sing to them. Whatever. Dancer. All right. Bye. Bye, guys.